Today we are Rob and Ali sharing with you our passion of all things cruise and travel.
Today we are at Luganville on the island of Espiritu Santo in Vanuatu. Lots of O's and U's in it. We've got off the ship and we are going on a tour. We are going to Canoe the Riri River. It just gets harder, doesn't it? Anyway,
so we're
going to meet in the terminal building. We've walked down the walkway. We've got off the ship, walked down the walkway, and there is a sign here saying cruise ship tours off to the left.
This is a beautiful day.
Fantastic day, actually.
The sun is shining, the sky is blue. What's lovely is that they have this covered walkway to take you sort of from the ship into the terminal, and this is just lovely. And lots of music in the background to give you that kind of really happy feeling. So let's go and see what the tour's all about.
Okay, off we go. Here we go, cruise ship tours. This is where we should be meeting. Well, there are chairs and everything in here. This is quite well set out, actually.
We are now inside the cruise terminal, no, the terminal for cruise passengers. And when Rob said there's chairs and everything, the everything is toilets. So they do have toilet facilities, but that's about it. There's no cafe or anywhere to get extra fresh water. So make sure you bring it with you when you get off the ship. But there's fans in here, and it's nice and cool, and spotless. So we're just sitting and waiting for our shout out for our tour.
We've just been a bit sheep, to be honest with you. Everybody else has just sat down in here, so we've just grabbed a seat and sat down. We've not actually seen anybody.
Nobody's told us to do this.
It might be one of those occasions when one person forms a queue and everybody just joins.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens anyway. Okay, we were right to do the right thing. We've just been called now.
We've also noticed that there is a currency exchange desk here.
Yep, the bank looks like they've come into the terminal and you can change some money.
It's the biggest calculator I have ever seen. If you get a trip from the cruise ship, you're likely to be in one of these little minibus. They hold about 10 to 14 people, depending on how many you can sort of cram in. They are air conditioned. They're a little bit jittery, or kind of
That's
juddery.
the roads though, not the bus.
Yeah, but the roads are actually asphalt, so they're pretty good roads actually, but it's still a little bit, but it adds to all the fun. Our driver is giving us lots of information about the island and about what grows here, and every now and again we get a beautiful view of the sea through the trees. It's beautiful. Do you know what? One thing that stands out is how clean it is. It's beautiful. It's like manicured island. Fabulous. So I'm just putting on all my suntan lotion and my hat, because there's nothing deadly on Santo. So there's no deadly spiders or snakes or anything like that. The most dangerous thing on this island is the sun.
And the roads.
And the roads. So Robert, here you go. Here's your 50 to put on.
Okay, that was about a 20-25 minute bus trip. It gave us lots of information along the way, and we are now at the place where we pick up the canoes, which is just over here. Can't really see it from the bus, but we'll see it better shortly. Okay, here is the water. It is beautiful, clear water. We've got the canoes here. So he just told us it's going to be about 15 minutes. Nice, steady canoe up the river to the Blue Hole, where we can do some swimming. Now, last time I was here, I did the same trip, but it was actually in dugout canoes. There were a few of them, they were a bit smaller, and one of them sank. I can't remember what they did with the people, but I'll ask my dad. Dad might remember, because he was with us on that trip. We're in the canoe now. It's very, very peaceful. We're set off down this gorgeous river. Oh, paddler, not sure what the official title is. Just give us a good ride down here.
You're doing your deep, sexy voice for me. It is very, very beautiful. It's stunning. The water is turquoise blue, and you can see right down to the bottom. It's a sand-bottomed river, which is what makes it so clear, so you don't get all that mud kind of drifting around. Absolutely beautiful. All the branches are overhanging, and the best part, we don't have to do any work at all. We have a beautiful guide at the back that is doing all the canoeing for us.
So these dugout canoes are outriggers. They've got an outrigger on the side. They hold 5 people, and the guy at the back just paddles around this tranquil river. They're very deep, actually. Let's have a look here. They're quite deep. Hey, they're quite deep. And they're dry, and it's just a lovely little trip. I've never seen water so clear as I've seen it here. It's almost as if there's no water there at all when it's nice and still. Have a look at this. You can see right down to the bottom. This is probably not the best bit, but you can see right down to the bottom.
A camera or a video can never do justice to a place like this. You just can't get the depth or the perspective on a camera or a video just to see how beautiful this is, that everything your eyes can take in, and also the sounds of the birds in the background. And now we can hear raucous laughter from the rest of our party from the cruise ship, I think.
Did they go off before us? Or?
They must have done all
Maybe an earlier tour or something.
In the water up here.
Yeah. So this is where we're going. This is the Blue Hole. Yep. It looks like the rope is there in the platform. So. And this is where we're coming into. There's a little jetty sort of landing stage here where we all get off.
Oh, look at this. Right to the door.
Steps as well.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
That was just beautiful, and absolutely not long enough. That was 15 minutes in the dugout canoe. Beautiful. I could have spent at least another hour, but I'm not sure that our canoeist could have managed to paddle as much longer. It must be pretty hard going, even in such a slow moving river, as to paddle all of us.
It did dip over. The outrigger went under the water, and it's sort of like we heard a bit of local Islamic. I think I'm assuming it was that, because it sounded very much like an Australian word that we use when things aren't going quite right. But anyway, that's like...
It didn't quite sound like, oh golly gosh, did it?
So we've arrived here at the Blue Hole.
So really, now I thought the Blue Hole, I guess when I read what the trip was, I thought the Blue Hole was somewhere different, but actually it's the end of your canoeing trip. You literally just hop off. They have taken our bags off the little minibus for us. So our towels and all our bags with everything in have been taken off the minibus, and they're right here, so you don't have to worry about getting out wet and walking around all wet. The only thing I'd say is I put slip-on shoes deliberately so I could slip in and out of them. But it does mean I'm slipping all over the place. So if you get something like Tevas, or those kind of shoes that sort of strap you in a little bit more, they're probably more appropriate for here than just what I've got, like slip-ons, and Rob's got like sliders or gliders or whatever you call them. So we now have 50 minutes. 30 minutes. The time is going down as I'm talking, I think. So I'm just going to tie my hair up, throw off the dress, and in we go into this beautiful water. Actually, probably 30 minutes having a splash around.
Oh yeah, that'll be it. There's some more canoes coming up here. This is where they go off. Now, what I would say is, if you are a little bit unsure on your footing, this is the sort of terrain that we are looking at here. I'll just move back here.
Yeah.
This is the sort of terrain we are looking at around here, but there is a platform up here where you can see here with a seat on, and there is the platform here down here for getting in the water. It is busy, and it's getting busier here actually. I think we've got half a cruise ship on here at the moment.
Now the guys are they're very friendly, but they will not grab you kind of to help you out of the boat. You have to offer your hand out, and then they will help you out. So they're very, very well managed. Some people don't like to be kind of manhandled, I guess, to get out. Put your hand out and they will help you up. But it's not too bad if you've got the right footwear on.
Okay.
Let's go in and I'm going to tell you whether it is cold or just a little bit tepid. Let's go and see. As well as putting on your sunscreen, there are also, I guess because it's water, there are mozzies and things about. We weren't sure, so we just threw it in the bag anyway. And as soon as we got on the canoe, we were getting bitten round our ankles because there's water in the bottom of that canoe. Although you don't really get wet, obviously that's where they like to be. So we sprayed that all around, but I can feel some of them coming up now. So
the only way is to get into the water.
I am. Now, we were told there's no fish, but we have seen fish.
We have.
So, let's see. So it's a bit of a moment. It's a little bit cool, but I'm just going to brave it and go in.
Just go for it.
There are proper steps here as well. They're a little bit slippy, but they're proper steps. So you don't have to do any kind of jumping in off rocks.
They go right down to the water by the look of it as well.
Yeah, I mean you could jump off if you felt like it, and they're slimy rather than slippery.
Go on then. In you go.
Oh, the only way to do this is to just go.
Oh, get away.
Just do it. 1, 2, right here.
Okay, so she's in. I'll do a quick pan around before I get in. But there is the blue hole. Gets its gets its blue colour from the limestone. So looks like there's some kind of steps over there actually where you can get in and out as well. Where that young lad's just getting in. If we go back a bit from the water, I'll show you the water is over here. Just up this little pathway, there are some changing cubicles. They're all very rustic and some toilets if need be. But they are there if you want to use them. And there is a path that goes back down to the hole. It's the blue hole. And the little platform, which is where I showed you before, where the steps were. Now if we go further down to the right, we're going to just have a walk down to the right over here, is a little platform with a rope swing. But on our way there, Al's come to meet us. She's still in the water. Have you got used to the coolness yet, the cold?
It's not cold at all. We're going to get somebody doing a spectacular dive in. Ow. Oh, I've now touched, okay, I've touched the rock.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I'm not sure you can actually get out there though.
I can't get out
a little
here.
bit.
I just came to say hello to you. So I have seen the most beautiful sort of blue and green dragonflies just floating on the top. Spectacular, and you can get really close to them. And because they shimmer in the water, gorgeous. And there's some beautiful yellow butterflies. Now, Robert's aim on this cruise was to get a ship on a stick. But I can say this is heaven on a stick. Who needs a ship?
It has quietened up a little bit, so I'll just do a pan of the water here. You can see the blue. It is absolutely gorgeous blue. Just pan around. A lot of people got out the water. It was busy when we first got here.
It's that sort of temperature where obviously when you get in, you kind of go, oh, and then as soon as you're in, it doesn't get colder and colder. You actually just start to feel warmed up. It's beautiful.
All right, off you go. I'm going to just go down here.
There's some people doing the rope.
So we walk down this pathway over here. Okay, so at the end of the path, we've got this. There's a few steps missing. Goes up to this platform. See if we can go up here. Oh, it's not easy without those steps. As you can see, there is a rope over here where you can go off this platform into the water. It's not very sophisticated, the retrieval process. Somebody throws it and somebody catches it with this big branch.
He's watching it from over.
Yeah, you bitch. I do. Exposing me.
And that is how you do it. Okay, let's have a wander back. I think our half hour is nearly up now. So Al's going to come out the steps.
Okay, so there's a little a rock at the bottom of here, just be careful.
Oh, we're gonna go.
And then,
It's like a whole.
yeah, that actually is a little bit easier. They're quite slimy, the steps, so I'm gonna look this way.
I'm gonna do what?
It's a little bit safer for me. There we go. Ah, that was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful.
I think it's almost time for us to go, actually. I haven't heard the whistle yet, but the time is up, so...
We're just waiting for that whistle. I'm just going to get dried off.
Okay.
We have just bumped into a couple at the Blue Water Hole, and they have done the trip independently. So they got off the ship, and where the little markets were, so just literally arm's length away, they negotiated for a little taxi, same kind of affair that we're in. There was 4 people, so they just hooked up with another couple that they didn't know, and they've got 3 hours of that driver and it was $300 split between the 4 of them. So that's a real bargain. They had 3 hours. They went to Champagne Bay and they've come here to the Blue Water Hole. But you won't be able to do the canoe trip with that. That seems to be tied in with the ship because there's so few of them. But yeah, they can enjoy that. So this has been good.
That would be a very cost-effective way to seeing a few of the sights of Santo, wouldn't be?
Other sights to see. Let's get back to I'm just going to go back to the minibus wet, actually. There are changing rooms and toilet facilities here, but I spent more time in the water, so I need to hot-foot it back now to the minibus. We're in that kind of tourist dilemma zone where we've been told to stand here and wait. So that was by the tour guide who said, I'm going to gather everybody here and then take you back to the coach. And 1 minute there was kind of 5 or 6 of us. And then the next thing everybody's wandered off, including our tour guide. And we think, did we miss an instruction? And we're sure we didn't. And should we try and find our way out of this jungle and find the coach ourselves? Or should we stay put and just stay put and kind of miss the boat and get left here till sort of 4:30? I don't know. So we're in that kind of dilemma where we're just going to stay put for now. So we'll let you know what happens. This is turning out to be a bit of an adventure. It's kind of organised, but a bit of organised chaos, I'd say.
Now we've got this pathway to walk up. This is not too bad, actually. It's not slippy. It's nice and concreted pathway back up to where the minibus should be waiting for us. We're waiting for the minibus now, and this road behind me is the road that the cars come down. This is where the taxis come as well, so you can see there's people who've got independent taxis. Their taxis are here. And some of the transport is also in these utes, like the Toyota Hiluxes that we can see down here, and the Kia over here. And they put seats in the back. So you might end up in a taxi like this one, or you might end up sat in the back of a Hilux. Either way, it'd be a bit of an adventure. The roads going back are pretty narrow. We've come across a few vehicles. We came across a ute that had 2 people back, going way too fast, and I'm surprised they actually managed to stay in the back of the ute. It's a very narrow road, and if you come across somebody, people have to either back up or move over to the side. Apparently this was an old airstrip though, built by the Americans, very overgrown, but they built 5, and this is one of them that's now extremely overgrown and used as a road.
What a beautiful way to end a trip. We've got reggae music playing in the background and this gentle breeze just kind of cooling us down because it is a spectacular day.
It is. I've taken my sunglasses off. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to survive. I probably won't actually. I'll put my sunglasses back on.
I know. I always apologise that I have to put my sunglasses on. It looks quite rude when you're taking videos, but it's just too glary. Anyway, that was just a beautiful trip. So we went to the Riri River, we had a canoe ride down the river, and then to the Blue Hole.
I did not know there are 2 blue holes. This was the Riri Blue Hole, but there is another blue hole.
Is it the wee wee?
It is.
I don't know why I had to put the voice on. Didn't really need it, did it? So my mother. Well, who did that? My mother has a saying that some people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. And the reason I say that here is that trip was fairly expensive. It was $165 each. The coach trip was about 15-20 minutes either way.
It's near a half an hour, I think.
And then about 15-20 minutes on the outrigger canoe, and then about 40-50 minutes in the blue
We probably didn't get
hole.
that long. I think we're there all up. By the time they get everybody out, they allocate you 30 minutes,
Yeah.
but it's thereabouts.
So it's a pretty short trip, and $165 a head, pretty steep. However, I would not have missed that for the world. I couldn't put a price on that experience. It's so gorgeous.
You can go to the Blue Hole independently, or just have a ship tour to the Blue Hole. But I think you'd be missing out by not doing the canoe, and I don't think you can do the canoe any other way than on the ship's tour. But the water that you go down, the clear blue water and the tranquility is fantastic. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I've never been anywhere else in the world and experienced that. So.
And the camera won't do it justice. We've got lots of shots of it, but yeah, it just won't do it justice. So,
What I would say though is, if you're a little bit unsteady on your feet, just take extra special care. Some places are a little bit slippy, a little bit overgrown. It's not commercial by any stretch of the imagination. And if you've got some good reef shoes or water shoes, probably wear those.
So a few little tips. They will bring your bags from the coach. They ask you just leave your bags on the coach while they take you down the river. On the canoe, when you arrive, they have already put your bags by the blue hole, by the landing stage there. When I say landing stage, it's a bit, it's kind of a bit of mud, a bit of mud and a bit of concrete here and there. They have changing rooms,
Of a sort.
They're just like little huts with a few little curtains on if you want to get changed. To be honest, it's nicer just to walk from that landing stage area and to walk up a little bit further back on the path where the coaches or the taxis will pick you up, and that is all just beautiful grass, and you won't get your towel or your feet and everything all dirty. Just go and get changed up there if you want to. All in all,
a fabulous tour. Beautiful tour, well recommended.
Yeah. And as we said, you can do it independently, but we don't think you can do the canoes. And that is, if you step off the ship on the port here, there are all the tents with the markets and things, and it's there that people have been picking up the taxis.
Yep, absolutely. So that is our tour that we did in Santo.
Yeah. Now, we did the early morning tour.
It's
actually left us plenty of time this afternoon to think about perhaps doing an independent tour. So we're going to grab something to eat and work out whether we want to go back out again.
Yeah,
and
or
enjoy
certainly
this
have a look
beautiful
around
island.
the markets anyway,
Yeah.
so, if nothing else. So, okay, if you've liked this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe, and hit the notification button if you want to see more of our videos. Thanks for watching. We've had a fantastic day. We will see you in the next video.
Yeah. Do not give this one a miss and sit on the ship. It's worth
Absolutely.
getting off and
Yeah.
have a good trip.
Bye for now. See you
Bye.
in the next one.